What's up, homies? It's your girl, Lake or whatever, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of Talks with Lake, where we talk about broad topics and get down into the nitty and the gritty of it. Today's topic, emotional maturity. Yeah, we better get deep with this thing. So, yeah, you don't want to hear the truth. Peace out. I'll talk to you later. But yeah, let's get into it. Emotional maturity. We gonna get into the real reason why it's so many immature men and women out here. Now, as you all know, like especially like in the Black community, like little boys was told, or kind of still being told, that boys don't cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, boys don't cry. They gotta be strong all the time. Yeah. It wasn't just the boys that was being told, oh, little boys don't cry. What you think us females had to go through? What you think us females had to go through? Because if you came from a broken home, or you grew up in a broken home, then like, you can really attest to this. For the people that came from a broken home, not only was the boys being told, don't cry because little boys don't cry and stuff like that, the females was being told, well, since we are the ones that express our emotions and everything like that, we was being told, like, and whenever we would ever express ourselves, we was told that we being disrespectful. You feel what I'm saying? Like, our parents will sit up here and come at us like, oh, well, I'm your mother at the end of the day, and you ain't gonna be in my house disrespecting me and talking to me that way. What that got to do with how you hurt me? Like, what do your title or your authority have to do with how you hurt me? You feel what I'm saying? Like, make that make sense. Like that never made sense to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what you do and say to your kids matters. It matters. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. What you say and do to your kids matter. You feel what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact of, you, like, when you constantly hear words like that, you begin to feel some type of way on the inside. And it's just like, what people don't understand is, when kids first become toddlers, that's when they most sensitive to everything, because it's just like, this is what they're first seeing. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's when they start to come into their remembrance and understanding and everything like that. That's when those the ages that are the most sensitive. So what they see, what they hear, they're going to take it and run with it. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you're constantly always being told those things, oh, like, oh, you're not going to be in my house disrespecting me, little boys don't cry. When you constantly hear those things, as a child, you begin to feel like, my voice don't matter. You feel what I'm saying? My you know what I'm saying? What I got to say, ain't nobody trying to hear none of that. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy that it's like that, because of the simple fact of, like, bro, like people really don't understand what that does to children. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Telling kids, like, oh, kids is meant to be seen, not heard. You feel what I'm saying? Telling kids to stay in the child's place. When you sit up here and when you constantly do these things to a child, it messes them up on the inside. Because let me tell you something, I, for a fact, was messed up for some time behind that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, my mom and them used to be like, oh, well, I'm your mother at the end of the day, I'm your grandmother at the end of the day. Like, none of that means anything. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Yo, like, I'm trying to tell y'all too, like, for the longest time, Like they beat me over the head with them words so many times that like when I was a kid, not only was it hard for me to open up, it was just hard for me to even say what I wanted, say what I needed. Like I would be with my dad, and it would like literally take me about 20 to 30 minutes to work up some courage, just to ask him like, can you take me home, like whatever. Like it was just the most simplest things, because I was just feeling like, oh, if I say something, I'm going to get yelled at, or I'm going to, like, they're going to think I'm being disrespectful, or whatever the case may be. But it's crazy because, like, my dad never made me feel like that. Never made me feel like that. But it's just, like, I wasn't always with my dad. I was more so with my mom. So it's, like, this is what I heard on, like, a daily basis. Like, this is what I heard. Like, so I'm just, like, and y'all, like, that went with me until, like, I was at least, like 19, 20. Like I recently just learning how to deal with my emotions, like about 2-3 years ago. So I'm just like, dog, like it's not just the boys that go through it. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like I kind of want y'all to have like a little grace and mercy on the people that's like it's hard for them to open up. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and yes, they got to take accountability for their actions too. It's, you know what I'm saying, for going around just hurting people. Yes, but I want y'all to have like about a good 5% mercy on them, because of the simple fact of like you really got to understand like where people like us come from. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like I can attest that like a lot of people in the hood kind of grew up that way or whatever, but like y'all really got to understand like the background on why like people can like deal with their emotions for real. Like, and it's just like we went through that so much that we're the ones that go off and be by ourselves, and you know what I'm saying, just because that's just how we cope with things. Like it's like we are literally the generation that like, at least, and especially like my generation, and like, you know what I'm saying, like we are really the generation that really went through that. Like, you know what I'm saying, that really have to, like, it's really hard for us to open up, because it's like if we open up, we don't know how the other person is going to take it. We don't know like how it's better to be, like, you know what I'm saying, like we don't know. So it's just like for us kind of people, it's really hard to open up. It's like we have to go off and be by ourselves just to bring it all back together again, because this is now this is all we know. You feel what I'm saying? This is all we know. This is how we know how to cope with our problems. You feel what I'm saying? And what I learned is, I feel like you better off getting through problems like on your own and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people gotta talk to like somebody. You feel what I'm saying? Like everything ain't for everybody. But like I really grown to realize that like that's the best way to get through whatever you're going through. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's just like, especially like if you like one of those person that like to chill in the car, like, you know what I'm saying, whatever is therapeutic to you. You feel what I'm saying? Like getting through it on your own is kind of like the best, because of the simple fact of like you ain't got to worry about nobody sitting up here, like you going to them in confidence and you talking to them and they throwing it back up in your face in like an argument or something. Like you don't got to worry about that. So I really feel as though like that's the best way to cope with your problem. That's the best way to get through it, because it's just like, this how I've been doing it all my life. You feel what I'm saying? This all I know. So you know what I'm saying, me opening up to you is not really like the best thing for me. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like I now know how to deal with my emotions, because like when I first came encounter with them, baby, they a lot. That's like, emotions will really give you a run for your money. You think life will give you a run for your money? If your emotions will take a hold of you and really give you a run for your money, where you just really can't control it. Like, so I eventually got to a point where I could turn my emotions on and off. I'm not really dealing with them, but I can turn my emotions on and off. Then I got to a point where I just like, I had to deal with it, like, because it wasn't getting me nowhere. Like I'm still like, I'm not really an emotional person, but I know how to deal with my emotions. I know how, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it took me to get older just to learn how to deal with my emotions. You feel what I'm saying? Just on the simple fact of how I was raised, how people that came from broken homes was raised. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, one thing I really, really hate is when, you know what I'm saying, when your parents treat you like a certain way, right? Like a real, like, fucked up way, right? People will sit up here and try to justify it and be like, oh, well, that's all that they know and all this. Please spare me the bullshit. I'm like, I'm sorry. Please spare me the bullshit, because there ain't no way. Like, this is just, boy, ain't no way. Because this is my thing when it comes to this statement, right? If somebody once made you feel a way, had made you feel like belittled, if it made you feel like you didn't matter, your voice didn't matter, any of those things, if anybody made you feel like that, why would you go off and treat the next person like that and make the next person feel what you felt? You feel what I'm saying? Like, in all honesty, like, it's because, like, dog, like, what happened to treat people how you want to be treated? Like, all honesty, like, what happened to that? Please tell me. Please inform me. What happened to? Oh, you know what I'm saying? If I treat you a certain way, that's how you going. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, what people fail to realize, that you have to stop sitting up here. Y'all have to stop sitting up here thinking that y'all don't have to show a child respect. Y'all really gotta stop thinking that. Like, yes, it's a child. Yes, they're a child. Yes, you have authority over them. But please understand that respect is a two-way street. Respect is a two-way street. You can't sit up here and constantly raise a child in disrespect and expect them to respect you. You feel what I'm saying? Because y'all do things to kids that y'all know that these kids cannot do back to y'all. Because, baby, if they do it back to y'all, it's gonna be the end of the world. Let's keep it all the way funky. Like, if the kids sit up here and flip the switch, and sit up here and talk to you all kinds of crazy, sit up here and do all these things. Now you sitting up here, you trying to whoop their ass. You sitting up here calling the whole family, telling them that they tried to kill you and all this stuff. Like, this is really the stuff. Like, now that I'm sitting here talking about it, like, I really believe, like, some of our parents was, like, mental in the head. Because why is y'all like that? Like, why was y'all like that? Like, why did y'all have to raise us like that? Like, and it's like, it's crazy because people would be like, oh, well, that's all that they know, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, that's not all that they know. That's not all that they know. Like, there's no way that I'm allowed, I'm gonna sit up here and was treated bad by somebody that I love. So I'm gonna go and create another person that I love just to treat them the same way that I was treated. Now, does that make any type of sense? And it's not really always about breaking a generational curse. It's just being a decent human being. Like, why? Like, if you know that you once felt belittled and like you didn't matter, like your voice don't mean anything. If you know that you once felt like that, why are you sitting up here going to have a child and treat them the same way? That just really doesn't make not a lick of sense to me. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, and I understand that, like, it goes back generations and generations of people not being able to express themselves, but it's just like, dog, when does the cycle end? Like, when does the cycle end? And where y'all could be like, you know what? I'm not going to raise my child how I was raised. I'm not going to treat my child how I was treated. But it's just like, and it's like crazy because it's like a lot of y'all could say that y'all not going to treat your kids how you was once treated, but then have these kids and then treat them how you was once treated. that really just doesn't make any type of sense to me, like at all, at all. Like really would be wrong. You feel what I'm saying? Because and then it's just like a lot of parents is like really emotionally like fucked up for real because of the simple fact that like some parents can like want to raise you through active service, like love you through active service, just like constantly doing things for you just to show that they love you and things like that. And most parents gonna raise their kids in tough love. I honestly feel like you raising your kid in that type of environment, not even that in type of environment, but raising your kid in that type of love. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, that's not good. Because first of all, everybody doesn't desire to be loved like that. You get what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't desire to be loved what you just doing for them all the time. Like, and I can guarantee you that not even most, I'm not even gonna say most, all kids just want time from their parents, just want love from their parents, just want to be like, you know what I'm saying, just want their attention. Like, really the things that money can't buy. So you sitting up here always constantly trying to love me through active service, that's 9 times out of 10, that's the way that they desire to be loved. You feel what I'm saying? So they're gonna dish off their love to everybody else. But no, you gotta learn how to love other people. Like, everybody does not desire to be loved with materialistic things. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like a lot of parents lack just showing affection to their kids. Just showing affection to their kids. But yeah, like you can't love other people like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like people go so hard in loving you through active service that they forget that you still gotta show your kid love at the end of the day. You still gotta spend time with your kid at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? They lack that heavy. And for like the parents that sit up here and raise their kids in tough love, that ain't the way to go either. Because it's like, don't get me wrong, like in certain situations, certain cases, sometimes tough love is needed for the kid. You feel what I'm saying? For the kids or whatever. Like, sometimes it's needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like don't get me wrong, like in certain situations, you need to show kids like tough love or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, so they can get it, so they can understand. But just raising your kid in that type of love all the time, that's not the way to go. Because of the simple fact of you raising your kid like that, like that just like shows your child that you don't know how to show up for your kid when it matters the most. You don't, like, when they just need somebody to talk to, you don't know how to just show up and just be their listening ear, be their confidant. You don't know how to just show up and just, you feel what I'm saying, just give them advice. You don't know how to approach the situation because you constantly always raising them in tough love. You always just like, oh, it is what it is. It's going to be what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. But you can't sit up here and raise your kids that way. Because it's like, sometimes it's not always about that. Like, it's not always about, oh, you gotta accept it for what it is, and it is what it is. Nah, like you can't do that. Like, you really can't do that. Like, you gotta understand that, like, bro, everybody desires to be loved differently. Like, everybody don't desire to be loved like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because you got parents out here that will really talk down to their kids, that will really sit up here and be like, well, like, just because they're crying, and I'm talking about like little boys, like, will really sit up here and just be calling them a crybaby, a bitch, a pussy. Like, this is really how people talk to their kids. It's sad. Like, when you constantly always hearing those words, when you constantly, you like that child is going to eventually grow to realize that like, or grow to think rather, oh, I got a point to prove. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I got to prove that I ain't no bitch. I got to prove that I ain't no pussy. Like, bro, why is y'all putting y'all kids through that? Like, just because, like, because when they get older and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they really don't know how to deal with their emotions. They was always like, why put your child through that? They already getting to a point in life where they don't know how to deal with their emotions, let alone you sitting up here making them feel like they got a point to prove. Why put your kids through that? Like, why even sit up here and put your kids through that? Like, it's really ridiculous, like how emotionally fucked up these people is, because it's like, and this is like even for the parents that raise their kids in active service and tough love or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, or sitting up here telling them that they being disrespectful, or telling little boys that they don't cry. You sitting up here, you raising your kid like that, like, why? Like, just why? You feel what I'm saying? Because y'all raise y'all kids like that and then sit up here and think in your mind like, oh, well, this how my parents raised me and I turned out to be all right. I turned out to be cool. But in all reality, no, you didn't. You really a fucked up individual for real. Like, you really messed up in the head for real. Like, how you sitting up here, like, how do you believe in your head that you turned out all right? And the ones that believe that they turned out all right and that's how they was raised and stuff like that is the same ones that's stuck in their ways. The same ones that, oh, I'm old school. I'm da-da-da-da-da. And I'm, y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to just catch up with the times. Like, it's like, I really don't understand like why it was so hard for our parents to apologize for just what they did to us, like just for how they treated us. It was so hard for them to apologize. Like, please tell me, like, what was the problem? Like, it, like, and then it's just like, especially like my generation, we are in like the biggest season of unlearning to relearn everything that we learned. We now know that when you talk out your problems, you know what I'm saying, and when you take accountability, that makes the relationship stronger. You know what I'm saying? When you able to express yourself, you able to deal with your emotions. That, you know what I'm saying, now you got a handle on your emotions. And you gotta think, like, when you don't have a handle on your emotions, you don't got a handle on self-control either. Let's talk about it. You don't have a handle on self-control when you don't have a handle on your emotions, because why? What did I say earlier about my emotions? Your emotions can consume you and really control you, where you lose all control. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that ain't the way to go. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that ain't, nah, you can't do that. Like, you gotta be able to, like, and it's just crazy that we all of us is in the most biggest season of unlearning to relearn everything. Like, it's just like, because it's like I feel like we all going through life like, you mean to tell me this is what these people was telling me, but whole entire time it's just they didn't really want to deal with it. Like, bro, y'all gotta understand, like, who y'all connected to matters. Who y'all, you know what I'm saying, who with the family you was born into matters. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's really the ones that's close to you that do the most to you, because of the simple fact of when we was kids, every single soul on this earth, when we was kids, that's when we was the most purest version of ourselves, right? That's when we was coming into our imagination, all that. You know what I'm saying? That's when we first saw and knew what we wanted to do in life, what we wanted to be, all that. So whenever you would sit up here and you would see like a dope vision in your mind, you would go to your parents and take it to your parents and be like, oh, well, this is what I want to do. And this is what I want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say if you wanted to own your own business or something like that. Like, oh, I want to own my own business and everything like that. Then you have the family members that's going to sit up here and tell you, oh, you can't do that. You can't. Oh, you're not going to make enough money doing that. You gotta understand, like I said, the people that you connected to matters. What you say and do to your kids matters. Because like I said, when kids is in their toddler stage, you know what I'm saying? That's when they're the most sensitive to everything that they see, to everything that they, you know what I'm saying, they watch their parents do, to everything. So you gotta understand that it's the people that you connected to that creates the unknown version of you. That's where it starts. Of course, you're gonna run into people and get mixed up with other people, you know what I'm saying, outside your family. Yes, of course. But that's later on in life. The first, you know what I'm saying, the people that you're connected to, they the ones that matter. The ones that you, the family that you was born into, they matter, because they are the ones that sit up here and first put self-doubt in you, fear, sit up here and not you not controlling yourself, like you, like not them not working up the, I want to say the stamina for you to have self-control over yourself. They, you know what I'm saying, they put all, they're the first ones to put all the negative emotions in you, to make you feel all the negative. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's just like, damn, you could see a vision in your head and go sit up here and tell a small-minded person that is not open-minded, and like they can't see what you see because of the simple fact of like because they know that they can't do it. So anybody that know that they can't do something, they're going to sit up here and project those feelings on you. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like me sitting up here seeing that I want to own my own business and stuff like that. Me coming to tell my parents, and you telling me that I can't do that. Like, damn, like all I needed you to do was just sit up here and say that I can do it, that you believe in me. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Who you're connected to matters. I'm trying to tell you, who you're connected to matter. I can't stress that enough. I really can't stress that enough, because it's just like people, what a lot of people don't understand, especially like when it comes to little boys, y'all don't realize that y'all raising little boys that's going to eventually grow into a man. What a lot of y'all don't understand is it's the words of his mom that means the most. Because the words of his mom could either make him or break him. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you're not sitting up here, if you're not sitting up here speaking life into your kids, you know what I'm saying? And this goes for girls and boys, but you know boys got to be raised a little bit differently than girls. So it's just like, if you're not sitting up here speaking life into your child and letting them know that like they're a king, you feel what I'm saying? Just building up their confidence, and you feel what I'm saying? They're going to eventually go through life trying to figure it out, trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, that's part of the reason why there's a lot of immature men out here as well. Because I'm telling you, like, bro, when I tell y'all it starts at home first, it starts at home first. Like, no bullshit. Like, it really starts at home first, because of the simple fact of like, y'all may be dealing with a man that's sitting up here that just like can't open up and just really don't know how to deal with their emotions or whatever. And it's just like, all right, yeah, if you know that you like that, you shouldn't really be being in a relationship. But it's just like, people don't think like that. You feel what I'm saying? People don't think like that. But it's just like, all right, yeah, we can blame them for their action, but it's when you get down to the root of the problem to see why they are the way that they are. Is when you get down to the root, you're gonna see like, damn, like they really came from a fucked up person, a really, you know what I'm saying, a really messed up place. Like, You feel what I'm saying? Like they're gonna feel like you know what I'm saying? Once you gonna see like, oh, like they really, you know what I'm saying, they really came from a fucked up background. You feel what I'm saying? Because you got some people out here like in like young mothers too that like really sit and talk down to their sons. Like really sit up here and make them feel some kind of way for expressing themselves. And it's just like y'all really gotta do better. Y'all really gotta do better. Who you connected to matters. What you say and do to these kids, that it matters. Like you can't just sit up here and just constantly love on these kids how you desire to be loved the whole entire time. They not even being fulfilled by your love. Damn, I'm talking some shit. Like you, like they can't even they can't even feel fulfilled by your love because of the simple fact of you're loving them through the way you desire to be loved. You cannot do that. You can't do that. Like, and it's just like, yeah, and it's like, it's so many kids out here that need a hug and want to sit up here and, you know what I'm saying, just love on they parents, but it's just like you got the parents pushing the kids away. Like, what do you think that like that does to kids when they get older? Like, and it's just like, especially, and like I said, respect is a two-way street. Like, you cannot sit up here and plant nothing but bad seeds in these kids and expect them to just be all right. You feel what I'm saying? Because you want to be technical, we're going to get biblical with this thing. It say in the Bible. Train your kids up in the way that they should go, and when they get older, they will not depart from it. If you ask me, the Bible haven't told not one lie yet. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So what your kids see when they're younger and they in a toddler stage and things, they're going to take it and they're going to run with it, especially if it's constantly being repeated. Because when something is constantly being repeated, you eventually start to believe it. Like, on some real shit. Like, that's the power of repetition. You know what I'm saying? When you constantly hear, that's what, like, even when you're saying your affirmations, how many times do you gotta say it? Especially like if you at that point in a point in life where, you know what I'm saying, your self-esteem is low or something like that, and you're just getting into saying your affirmations. How many times do you gotta repeat it before you could believe it? You gotta repeat it sometimes, right? You gotta repeat it a couple times before you be like, all right, like I believe I'm pretty. I believe I'm. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so imagine what it's like hearing those type of words, like those negative words from your parents, year after year after year after year. What you think that's going to do to a person? Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, it's really the people that you're connected to makes who you are. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I just feel as though it's just crazy that we really had to grow up and really realize what our parents were saying to us all our lives and was doing to us all our lives was never the right way to go. Was never the right way to go. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if you came from a family that always trying to just sweep things under the rug, and they don't, you know what I'm saying, they don't really want to talk about nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying, you got some that just want to get their hands dirty but don't really want to talk about nothing and hash nothing out. They just want to push it to the side and keep on pushing. No, and I can guarantee you, people that grew up like that, they distanced. They're very distant in their family. Like, they don't really rock with their family like that. Like, it's a wedge in between them because of the simple fact of they went off and then discovered the real world, and y'all still stuck in y'all ways. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, I can guarantee you that it's a huge gap within the family. You feel what I'm saying? The ones that you rock with and the ones that you don't rock with. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's just what it is. Like, that's just what it is. You feel what I'm saying? But we're going to get into the unpopular opinion of the day. Unpopular opinion of the day. For you young parents, I highly encourage you to raise your kids differently. than how you was raised. You feel what I'm saying? Like, cause it's like just definitely raise your kids differently. You feel what I'm saying? Not how you was raised, but differently. Learn how to love on your kids, man. Like, and it's like I said what I said, because it's just like, bro, like, cause for real, in this day and age, like, you got so many people just having babies and stuff, that it's a lot of young people out here having kids. So it's just like, you got babies raising babies out here. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like, and it, of course, like, nobody has the actual manual or handbook on how to raise kids, but please don't be that parent that's sitting up here just talking down to your kids. And you know what I'm saying, you got to do better as a parent. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, y'all, like, young parents, I really highly encourage y'all to tighten up, because it's like I said what I said, tighten up, because it's just like, you can't have your kid out here on some sucker shit. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like, you the one that's creating the sucker shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it starts at home first. Like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just gotta do better, like, when it comes to loving on your kids. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, especially for the ones that sitting up here, like, really talk down to their kids and calling them bitches and pussies and stuff like that. My nigga, that's verbal abuse. That's verbal abuse. Like, you ain't about to tell me otherwise. That's verbal abuse. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, damn, damn, you really feel as though like they a crybaby, or they bitching because they expressing themselves. Like, especially if it's a little boy, like, you feel what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't understand why it's such a double standard when it comes to boys and girls. Like, why can a female express themselves, but a little boy can't? Like, why do y'all feel as though like only females and women, only little girls and women is supposed to be the only ones that have feelings, and a little boy is not supposed to feel anything? Like, y'all gotta stop sitting up here trying to build a little boy up to be strong all the time, because as a person, as a human being, as an individual, bro, it's almost impossible to be strong all the time. Like, yeah, you can make it look good and all that, but it's just like, when you sit up here, everybody need a weak moment. Everybody needs to be vulnerable. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody. Like, how do you expect to deal and move on from things if you don't deal with them? That's like me getting a cut, and since I don't want to deal with the bleed, and I'ma just try to avoid it. How? Like, how can you avoid it if it already been cut? You feel what I'm saying? Like, y'all just gotta do better. Y'all young parents, y'all really gotta tighten up out here. You feel what I'm saying? Like, y'all gotta like love on y'all kids more. You feel what I'm saying? Give your kids something that money cannot buy, which is time, attention. You feel what I'm saying? Like, all that materialistic stuff, that's cool and all, but that's all temporary. That's all gonna fade away. You feel what I'm saying? That's all gonna fade away. So yeah, young people, y'all really need to tighten up. But that's all the time that we have for today. So catch me on the next episode of Talks with Lake, and I will see y'all later. Peace.